Hi, I'm Joel and welcome to my new channel. I've been working in the printing industry for over 20 years now, and I've seen a lot of changes over the years. By far the biggest has been the advance in e-commerce and how that's changed the printing industry. And one of the biggest sites for creators to sell their wares is Etsy. I have a customer who, like many people, started selling online during the pandemic. She didn't have any experience with online marketing and e-commerce really. She's just a graphic designer who wanted to get more customers. So she turned to Etsy because she thought, I don't have to worry about online marketing. They can take care of all that. It's okay if I pay a little bit more percentage as opposed to somewhere like Shopify, right? But she started doing that. The problem is that a lot of other people started doing the same thing during that time. Now I was doing some research online to see how many sellers were on Etsy when she started in 2020 and how many sellers are on Etsy now. So let's take a look. Okay, so if you see here, this is from Marketplace Pulse. Now, Etsy number of active sellers since 2012. We're not gonna go back that far, but you can see here, or why not? In 2012, they had a little under 1 million sellers, and it started going up and kept going up. You see pretty good growth. Now here in 2020, the first quarter, they had 2.65 million sellers, and that shot all the way up 1 year later, almost doubled to 4.7 million. And now we're at 6.3 million. So that goes to show you that the marketplace is a lot more saturated now. It doesn't matter what niche you're in, there's a lot more people that are selling on Etsy. And let me show you how that competition has affected her sales. Okay, so here we are in 2020 when she started. She started in May, so if you can see here is 4 sales for $47. And it picked up rather quickly, right? The next month, she did over 10 times that, and then it just kept going up and up. Not as much. All of a sudden, there's a big jump here in September as we get into the holiday season. Now, November was really good, over 10 grand. December was really good, over almost 24,000. So she finished off, let's just say half the year, because May, I mean, $47 doesn't really count, with almost $50,000. Not bad, right? Let's go over to 2021, and here we see a big jump. January, she did really well. February, March, did a lot better, over 10 grand. April, May, over 10. June went down a little bit, and it goes up and down. October went up, and look in November and December. She did a big chunk of her business in the holiday season. So that year was $145,000, a little over $145,000, which is not bad for your second year in business, especially if you're new at this, right? So she was loving Etsy. Let's go to 2022, last year. Now there's a lot more competition now. January was still good. February was good, but then we start seeing a decline in March. April went back up. May kind of stayed steady. June went up. July went up. So this is, I mean, it's still pretty good, but we see a big difference here in November and December. Almost like $20,000 less per month in those 2 months, and that really affected her year. She ended up down quite a bit, a little over $84,000. Now that's still good, but you have to keep in mind this is just revenue. You have to deduct everything that Etsy takes, plus the cost of all your materials and whether or not you pay rent, you rent a space, or you work out of your house. So this is obviously gross revenue. And let's go to this year now. This year we see is a lot less. Now we don't know how the holiday season is going to go this year, but if the current economic climate is any indicator, it's not looking too good, right? So we see a drop in sales here. August last month was the biggest, or the worst month. Yeah, it's January. I mean, she still did a little bit more than last month. So sales have been dropping pretty much in correlation to the increase in sellers on Etsy. So like a lot of people like you and me, we turn to YouTube to see what we can do to increase those sales. And she started doing some Facebook advertising, some Instagram advertising. The only problem was that when you put your link to your store or to your product, that link would go to Etsy, obviously, to your product. And then on top of your product and below your product would be similar products from other sellers. You see, Etsy is in business for Etsy. Just like what you sell is your product, you or your store is a product for Etsy. They care about their bottom line. which is fine. That's what every business should do. However, they don't care if a person buys something from you or they buy it from your competitor. All they want is for that sale to take place on Etsy. And so on top of the up to 15% that you're paying Etsy sometimes, you're also paying for the cost of acquisition, or rather for the cost of the click, because you might not even get that customer. They might see something they like from one of your competitors, and you're paying a lot of money. That's why I think Etsy is no longer a viable option. I've been on some forums where people are saying that first, they open a store and it gets suspended right away. Now that's an indicator that Etsy has too many stores. Second, they upload their products and nothing happens. No sales, sometimes for weeks or even months. Now that's not to say that you still can't do well on Etsy, and there's stores that do very, very, very well on Etsy, but they've become experts in how to promote, how to market. And I think that as we become better at online marketing, the less and less we're gonna need others to do it for us. And we can put a lot more money in our pocket, but most importantly, we're not going to rely on Etsy for our business, and we're not gonna be at their mercy. I've seen a lot of stories where, for whatever reason, Etsy decides to close your store. And what do you do then? You're gonna have to start all over. So if you're going to have to learn how to market, if you're gonna have to run ads, then why not do it to your own site? Obviously, you're not gonna have the name recognition or the trustworthiness of Etsy, but there's a lot of stuff you can do. Now, like her, I'm really inexperienced with e-commerce. And unfortunately, right now, we don't have the budget to really pay online marketers a lot of money to boost our sales. So I'm gonna do a couple things on this channel. One is you're going to see me start my own website, because up to now, all I've done is business to business. It's more person to person in my local area, working with customers. So we want to expand that. And we're gonna launch our website on Shopify. We're going to build products and we're going to try to advertise it. So you're gonna see along with me how well or not well this new venture does. I'm also gonna show you some tutorials on how to make your designs so that they print well. I get a lot of customers who send me a design that's about the size of a business card, and they want me to print a banner that's gonna go on the side of a building. So obviously that's gonna look really, really blurry or pixelated. So I'm going to show you how to set up your files so that that doesn't happen, and how to set up bleeds and proper borders and all that stuff. And I'm also going to give you the option of buying stuff a lot cheaper through me, exclusively for the people that watch here on YouTube. So we're really excited about this new venture. I guess it's actually two new ventures. One is this YouTube channel and the other is the online site. I'm putting out a few tutorials this month, which you'll be able to use to design maybe your site, design some work for customers. So if you're interested in learning along with me how to market a new website, how to design new products for it, and how to sell. I've been working in sales for as long as I've been working in the printing industry, so I'll definitely share some of that knowledge with you in future videos. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a great day.